You already know what time it is. Alright. Whoops. That didn't sound good. But yeah, you already know what time it is. It is 12:22 a.m. and I bet you knew exactly what time it was on my clock. Either way, it's routine at this point. We're gonna dive into some leaked stuff, and it's gonna be the same stuff. There's a bit of some interesting stuff here. So we're gonna go ahead and go through the summary, and then I'll talk about the panels as we go through. But an interesting thing here is, so the title of this chapter is called "Who Is It?" Right? Sure. So what happens is Deku is versing. So we last left off with Deku grabbing Shiggy. Aizawa was looking at Shigaraki to erase his quirk. Gran Torino Endeavor was in play. So Deku ends up saying something where he says, Deku, avoiding decay when Erasure is released, says, I don't want to lose my teacher who has protected me all this time. So we see that it seems like protecting Eraserhead is the primary goal of all of these heroes here. We do get a panel of Deku right on top of Shiggy. They're borderline face locked at that point. I wouldn't say they are exactly face locked, but there could be eye contact, which is kind of cool, right? This is going to definitely be the big rivalry of the future, so go ahead and get your knickers and your gears ready, because it's only going to get better from here between both of those characters. So Shiggy ends up jumping on Deku, of course, because the one for all thing is ringing in his head, and Deku ends up throwing Shigaraki away with Black Whip. That's kind of cool. I'm down. Bakugo ends up shooting a AP shot at Shiggy, which he easily dodges. So we do see Deku throwing Shiggy away with Black Whip as Bakugo uses the AP shot, and Shigaraki then says, what does he say? He says, I'm not interested in you anymore. But then a flame attack blows Shigaraki away. Deku ends up questioning whether it is Endeavor or Shoto. There's only two people responsible for that. Shigaraki then says, I was just about to do it. So, there's a few things here. One, let's be real here. I highly doubt Shoto made it to the battle at this point. Maybe he did. It's intentionally left vague. We'll see in the chapter if they reveal who it is, but at this point it wasn't revealed that was an Endeavor flame attack or a Shoto flame attack. It wasn't a Dabi flame attack. I'm guaranteed it wasn't blue, but who knows? Who fucking knows? It is interesting, though, that Shigaraki then says to Bakugo, I'm not interested in you anymore. This is becoming apparent. There's been a few fan theories tweeted out, more specifically by Vocal Pineapple, who says that he thinks Bakugo is going to lose his quirk as a result of this battle, and I think that's definitely very possible. I think it's very likely that Bakugo could lose his quirk. I did see some people on Twitter saying that he hasn't been fully redeemed for the things he's done in the past. So we'll see where the Horikoshi decides to take the story with Bakugo. However, it looks like Shigaraki is no longer interested in Bakugo. Therefore, I expect Shigaraki to show no mercy to Bakugo in this fight. And of course, Bakugo won't be holding back. It'll definitely be an interesting fight. Bakugo won't be fighting alone, but we'll see what happens. So next up, we got another bit of an interesting confrontation. Not confrontation, but an interaction. Endeavor thinks Shigaraki is as power toughness as All Might. So I don't know what that means. The summary says, word for word, Endeavor thinks Shigaraki as power toughness as All Might, and power toughness is in quotes. So I just think, I don't know, maybe he's just super tanky like All Might. Maybe he has the same sort of like overwhelming like power over everybody. You know what I mean? We'll see what happens. Endeavor realizes the kids are here, he realizes the kids are here. He doesn't know why, but he doesn't care. He tells Bakugo to protect Deku. So then here's probably an interesting interaction here. My favorite interaction is when Shigaraki hallucinates the voice of All For One, who says, become mine, my brother. This is interesting because the my brother thing's kind of fucky. There are a few panels here. It's nothing really like too big. It's just Endeavor rushing against Shiggy, telling Bakugo to protect Deku. He's doing this really cool, like, flame attack where it's almost like, you know how Spider-Man shoots the webs, or you know how, like, Venom can shoot the tendrils out from his hands? That kind of looks like Endeavor can shoot, like, these weird, like, flame tentacles out of his fingers. And he has, like, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe, like, 6 or 7 of them coming out. So that's kind of cool how he has, like, these big, long, like, flame tendrils coming out. Kind of dope. And then we get a big shot of Shiggy like dodging them, kind of like how Ultra Instinct is drawn, you know, where it's like it shows multiple sketches of his body as a sign that he's like moving very rapidly between the tendrils. That's kind of dope. The art is cool there. And then we get a shot of Eraser trying to keep his eyes open as the hero keeps his eyes moist. Moisturize is the word. So the Become Mine, My Brother line is interesting. It's very clear All For One is influencing Shigaraki in his head. But then Shiggy says, as he dodges what was called the Hell Spider attack, Shigaraki now thinks towards All For One, saying, "This is my power and my body. I will be more than you, so shut up, it's my will." And the translator is he says he doesn't know if it's the person, like the actual person he's referring to, or the person in his head, which is the quirk. So we don't know if All For One is actually communicating to Shiggy, or if it's the quirk of All For One that is communicating to Shiggy. I don't know. Shout out to DB, I believe it's DB Hype. Yeah, DB Hype X on Twitter. He always comes through hella fucking clutch with these spoilers, man. He does some good work here. So in my opinion, Shigaraki overcoming the will of All For One, something we all knew was going to come, right? But it's definitely interesting to see someone who Shigaraki thought of as master and looked up to, he's now grown past, and he kind of has his own will, his own motives, his own plans at this point. So we go then to the next part of the chapter where Gran Torino kicks Shigaraki and then proceeds to tell him, "Stop trampling on Shimura's will." And in response, Shigaraki then says, "Who are you?" So it's kind of cool how Shigaraki has never met Gran Torino. Gran Torino, of course, knew his grandmother very well, very close, and he says, "Stop trying to trample Tamura's will." Shigaraki says, "Who are you?" It's unclear if he is referring to "who are you" as like, "how do you know my grandmother?" or "who are you" as "why are you here kicking me?" Right? We do get a panel of that. It's just simple. Shigaraki has this like scar down his eye. If you guys have seen Anakin from like Revenge of the Sith, you know how like Anakin has the scar running down his eye? That's kind of the thing that looks like. He has like a cut that starts on his forehead that runs down what is his right eye and then runs all the way down to what looks like his mouth. So Deku might have cut him with Black Whip, or Bakugo might have hurt him with AP shot. I'm not fully positive on that. But then we get to, in my opinion, what is the coolest and most interesting panel of this chapter. And that is a flashback to the mansion. So what happens is the mansion, we flash back, all the heroes are saying don't give up, and what we get is a huge clash between Gigantomachia and Mount Lady. And riding on Gigantomachia's back is Spinner, Toga, Mr. Compress, Skeptic, and Dabi. Mount Lady says something along the lines of, "I won't let you get away," and we get a panel of both Gigantomachia clenching their teeth and Mount Lady definitely straining hard as they lock hands, right? They do the typical clash where Mount Lady is grown to probably her biggest size. She has both of her hands right on Gigantomachia's shoulders, and he's trying to get away. As you can see, he has the League of Villains on his back. This is going to be an epic fight of literally epic proportions, and hopefully we do get a little bit of it next chapter. I don't expect it to be that long. We haven't got a lot of Mount Lady really in the series, just, minus a few glances, but we'll see. I highly doubt she's a match for Machia, but we all know Machia has the League of Villains on his back, and he's trying to, go rendezvous with Shiggy, who is already a beast himself, and I think if they meet, it's pretty much GG from then on out, boys. So we'll see if Mount Lady can handle the League of Villains and Shiggy and Machia at the mansion, and that's where the chapter will end here, folks. So this is kind of the summary of the chapter overall. I kind of gave you the panels. We'll see when the chapter comes out if you get any more information that clarifies some of these translations. Hopefully, you continue to like the new style of videos. I'm putting gameplay in the background. I'm trying to summarize these, make them a lot shorter. Trying to not make them over 17 minutes. Hopefully, up the quality a bit. I'm not that high quality of a person, but hopefully this quality is up to par. And I will see you in whatever video I make next, which will be either be a chapter review or the next week's spoilers. There's also other videos that are in the works. If you have any ideas for videos, you can also say that. Feel free to discuss with me in the comments. I always love doing that, and I will see you guys whenever I decide to upload another video.